What is going on, everyone? Wow, we got a lot going on today. First of all, we have an official release date for the Review Tech USA documentary from June the King. We're going to talk about that because I'd like to try to lock in and schedule my live co-op react with Kino Casino for that. Also, I made clips for the channel for the first time ever. Curious what you guys think and if they're visible, because I don't know yet. Also, today we've got Nintendo World Championships. We've got news, which I'm excited because we have some interesting news stories and just a heck of a lot going on with my new PC and everything. So it's going to be a loaded show. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's get started, shall we, on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, guys. If you're wondering why I did the long intro today, it's because I actually ran to the front of my house to check to see if something had been delivered. I'm waiting. Someone has supposedly donated me a crown to wear on streams as a hat when we hit the tip skull. So I was running down to see. I don't have any tracking info for it. I was curious if it had arrived. It is not as of yet. So if that person is watching the stream, FYI, it ain't here yet. I don't know if you have tracking information for it or not. You might want to give it a look. All right. There's so much going on. Okay. All right. Let's start the show with the fact that the June the King documentary on Review Tech USA, a rich history of failure is what he's calling it, is now scheduled to go live on June the King's channel on Sunday morning. All right. So because of that, this means my schedule this week will be changed. I am essentially freeing my Sunday to react to this documentary. All right. The way it's going to work is I'm going to do a co-op react with the guys from Kino Casino. We're all going to be on stream together reacting to the video. It is 90 minutes long. Okay. So considering the fact that we're probably going to have so much to say about it, it likely will take hours to react to this. So what I'm proposing is that we do a stream starting roughly around 6 p.m. Pacific time. That would be like 9 p.m. their time, which is actually around the time they would start their normal streams anyway. And we will do like a night stream on my DSP Reacts channel. Okay, together. They'll be on my stream. And we'll just do it. We'll do the whole thing all in one go. If it takes 3-4 hours, that's fine. I could stream till like 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, there's no problem there at all. That's my normal schedule anyway. But what this will mean, obviously, is that the schedule's all going to change. On Sunday, which normally would be my React day, I'm going to bump those streams to Monday. So DSP versus the Internet, the clip show, as well as the Retro React to PS Home on the DSP Throwback channel, those will be bumped to Monday streams. And Sunday will be this live React. Now, there will be another stream as well. Like that morning, I will do a regular stream. I'll do a Level 1 podcast, and I'll probably do a little bit of gameplay of what I'm not sure yet. But basically, I will end that stream a little early so I have time to upload, to eat dinner and everything, and then come back for the big react on Sunday night, okay? Now, you might say, well, why Sunday night if June the King is saying he's going to publish the video Sunday morning? Because of YouTube. You'll want to be sure that it's published and working. There very well could be an issue where they go to publish it and there's an issue and then they got to fix it. I want to at least have that little bit of buffer. And since we don't know exactly when it's publishing on Sunday morning, you don't want to just be sitting around doing nothing, waiting. I'd rather say, let's start exactly at this time. Okay, so that's what I'm proposing. Now, I just proposed this to the Kino Casino guys, and I'm waiting to hear back from them on if they're okay with this. If they're not okay with it, then we'll change it all. All right. It's totally, we got to co-op and work together to make this work. Okay. So I'll let you know when I hear from them. And if this works, great. Basically, what I got to do is figure out how to do this co-op stream. We used the Discord when we did their stream. And so I got to figure out like how I can implement getting Discord into OBS for the stream. So they'll be on screen. We'll all be watching the video together. I actually heard you might have to get like the premium version of Discord in order to stream at a higher quality. And if that's the case, maybe I need to do that. Not for this stream. Like this stream will always be, 1080p, 60 frames per second. But like them coming through Discord, right? Like them actually coming through Discord, maybe lower quality unless I pay for the higher quality version. And I don't want those guys to look pixelated and choppy. So I'm going to wait to hear back. They know what they're doing. They do every show. They're using it. They're the experts on this. I'm sure they're going to see this. I already sent them a DM. And so we'll talk about it and we'll try to get this worked out by Sunday. Okay. So now what an exciting week coming up. By the way, next week for me anyway is going to be a 5-day streaming week. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's my streaming week next week. And Thursday will be my day off next week because actually I have appointments and stuff that I have to do that day. So yeah, what a week it will be. We'll have a whole day of gaming on Saturday. We'll have a shortened first stream of a podcast and some gaming on Sunday morning. And then we'll do the big co-op react, me and Kino Casino reacting to the Review Tech documentary on this special late stream on DSP Reacts. Monday, we'll do the regular React content all day long. Tuesday and Wednesday will be gaming days, okay? You say, well, what games? Well, there's a lot going on right now. Xbox gives you Discord Nitro for being a Game Pass member. You should check to see if you get that. Oh, how the hell would I check to see if I get that? I would love to get that if it's free. Sure. I don't know how to check that, though. If you, Ellipsian, if you have details on how to do that, because obviously I'm a Game Pass Ultimate member. Yeah, as long as it's not the one on Xbox. I'm definitely not going to be doing the React on Xbox. That wouldn't work. We wouldn't be able to import Rich's video. I think what it is in Discord, you tell it like to share screen. So all I'll do is on one screen, I'll put the documentary full screen so that we'll all watching it. And then the other screen will be the three of us, basically like our cameras will be superimposed over the documentary as we all talk and pause and react to it. Yeah. So, yeah, Ellipsian, if you could give me details on how to do that, that would be great. If I can get Nitro for free, then we'll have the highest quality or whatever. So, yeah, so what a week. All right, so schedule-wise, today what are we doing? Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which should be a great gameplay stream right after this podcast. It's going to be me taking on classic NES games in speedruns, and also it's going to be me taking on the weekly World Championship run. I want to see how I did last week and then do the new one for this week. That's going to be a fun gameplay stream. And then later tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Street Fighter 6, I'll, take one of my characters and take them online with ranked and see if we can rank them up even further. Maybe I'll either do Bison or Dalsum to see if we can get someone to master tonight. At the rate I was doing, I might hit master tonight with one of them. Okay? I'm off from streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day off. Saturday, we'll do Street Fighter 6 on the day stream. And the night stream will be Stardew Valley Chill. Sunday will be some gameplay during the day. I'm not sure what. Maybe Sunday what we'll do is we'll explore Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on my PC, see what games are there, decide if there's some I want to test, like download and test as a tech demo or even possibly play. And then the late stream will be on DSP Reacts around 6 p.m. Pacific time. DSP and Kino Casino co-op reacting to the Rich History of Failure documentary from June the King. Then Monday will be DSP versus the Internet, the clip show on DSP Reacts, and the night stream will be Retro React to PS Home on DSP Throwback. And then Tuesday and Wednesday will be full days of gameplay, but let's leave it. It says the premiere is in December. The React title confused me. It says the premiere is in December. Who said that, Mr.? What are you talking about, Mr. iGamer? My June stream says December 11th. Oops. Let me fix that right now. Thank you, guys. How in the hell does it say December 11th? What the? I typed December. Do you see what I mean? So much happened this morning. All at once. It's August 11th. Let me fix the date. It's scheduled for August 11th, correct? I scheduled it correctly. What I'm going to do for that particular stream is I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to reduce the talking timer to 5 seconds instead of 10, so people will be able to talk in the chat a little bit more. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, I am not going to put ads on that stream. I'm going to repeat myself. I am not going to put any advertisements on the DSP and Kino Casino React stream because I want people watching to have the absolute best viewer experience. Now, if people want to go out of their way to support that channel and, you know, super chats, memberships, tips, thank you. Yes, I will accept those during that stream. But I am not going to monetize it with ads because I don't want intrusive ads. I want us to be able to react and you see every moment of it without shit popping up in your face. Okay? So demonetize stream. Why is that a weird flex? I want you guys to have the best time with it because I have guests on and I want to be accommodating both to my audience and their audience. Don't you think it would be a little silly if they come on my stream and I'm running insane amounts of ads and people are complaining? Go into the Xbox app on your PC, click on perks. Game Pass members get 3 months of free Discord Nitro. I will do that tonight. I will absolutely do that tonight. Thank you, Big Mo. I will do that. I will enable it. And then hopefully it'll, you know, link to the Discord here. I guess what I have to do, because I don't have Discord on the gaming PC. So I guess I would have to link it somehow. I have to figure out how to do that. Okay, I'll look into it. All right. Okay, so, yes, Turtle Dude, the documentary is publishing Sunday morning, at least as long as nothing goes wrong with it. That's why I figure if we do it 6 p.m. Pacific time Sunday, even if they have issues in the morning, maybe they'll have time to clear them up, and it should be live by Sunday night. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Okay, so, holy crap, that is what's going on right now. All right? That's exciting, right? This week will be a 5 days of packed content. You know, PC gaming and this React and all this stuff going on. It's going to be a crazy, crazy week coming up. It's going to fly right by. I tell you right now, this week coming up is going to completely fly by. All right? Okay, now, also, excuse me, before we get to news, I have some gaming news stories I want to cover for you today. I did something different this morning. I was like, oh, I could start the stream early, but I was like, wait a minute. Instead of starting the stream early, why don't I look into the possibility of maybe taking some highlight and clips from yesterday's show and making them highlighted videos on the channel? I wonder if I were to do that, if people would actually check them out and enjoy them or not. All right. So this morning, I experimented with this for the very first time. I basically set it up to have highlights from yesterday's show. Okay. Here's how you do it on YouTube. First of all, I couldn't even highlight from an existing video. Like I had the podcast itself as a separate video. I go to do a highlight. Oh, you can't. All you can do is edit the video down. I can't take a clip from my own video. No, that's not allowed. You can only take a clip from a stream on YouTube. And I'm like, this is bullshit. This system sucks. So I had to sit there on the stream. And basically what you have to do is open your archive stream and go into a video editor. You have to wait around 15 to 20 minutes for it to fully load. I'm not kidding. That's how slow. That is how slow that shit works. You have to waste like 20 minutes. Okay? So it finally loads. And now I'm scrolling through and I'm like, I want to highlight these things. I'm using timestamps that OP Boone had posted on the podcast overnight to try to figure out where in the archive stream the clips are that I want to get. I scrolling around, I'm editing. It took a while, and I got 3 clips. 2 of them I made public. 1 I didn't make public yet. So one of the clips is Kino Casino versus Side Scrollers. DSP Feltsum. What does that mean? Well, basically, I talk about how appearing on the Kino Casino podcast felt so refreshing and different than when I had been on the Side Scrollers show last year. And basically, I completely slammed the Side Scrollers for how they behaved because they're completely disingenuous, greedy pieces of shit. So that clip is live, and that's only like 3 minutes, but that's live right now, and you can watch that. And then I made a second clip that was actually an important news story from yesterday about how Ubisoft is literally bribing content creators to talk well about Star Wars Outlaws by giving them fully paid trips to Disneyland, boat tours, and more. And the creators have come out saying, oh no, we were never under any obligation to say good things about the game. It's like, do you think Ubisoft literally picked your name out of a hat for like a lottery? Do you think maybe they like your content so much they just wanted to give you a free trip? No, stupid. They're paying for your review, even if it's not in writing. That's exactly what they're doing, and you're a fucking moron if you think otherwise. So any content you make about that game is a paid advertisement, period. So I have a big story about that. That's like almost a 10-minute clip, okay? So 2 clips right now. They just went live right before my show. I would really appreciate it if you guys could watch the clips, like them if you enjoy them, and leave comments on them. Those clips could bring attention to the channel, because that's the kind of thing that actually brings people to people's channels. If those things hit the algorithm and someone finds those clips, they're like, oh, I want to watch it, and it gets thousands of views, people might discover the channel on YouTube, if you can believe it. And that would help, all right? Now, the thing is, it was a lot of work. It took me like over an hour to just sit there and do those clips. It shouldn't have. It should have been 5 minutes, but because YouTube sucks so bad and loads so slow and has all these friggin' issues, it took me like an hour to do it. So that's actually why the podcast started a little late today and everything. Like, I'm running behind because I wanted to do that. And you might say, well, why didn't I do it yesterday? I couldn't. When you do a long stream on YouTube like I do, it takes YouTube, no exaggeration, around 12 hours for that podcast, or excuse me, for that stream to process so you can actually edit it. Yeah, it takes that long to try to cut a clip out of it. That's how bad YouTube is. So, I want to do more of these, but realistically, it's going to depend on how much time I actually have to do them. Okay? So bear with me, please. I would love to do these every day, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to do them every day. Maybe if I have like a few very important things that I want to highlight every week, I could just highlight a few, or maybe one a day or something like that. So there you go. Okay? All right. So clips are now on the channel, 2 of them, 2 highlights. Please check them out. If you enjoyed them, please like them. Please spread the word about them. And that would help the channel a lot if you could start spreading the word that I'm going to try to make clips every, once in a while. That the highlights would definitely help boost the channel's notoriety on YouTube and the algorithm. Okay? Cool. Okay. What else was I saying? Because there's so much going on right now. Seriously, I'm getting so distracted. I guess we'll just do gaming news at this point. I already did the schedule, right? Oh, yesterday's content was great. Yesterday, I spent the whole first stream exploring games on Steam. We did a bunch of tech demos with games like Portal RTX, Riven Remake, and Resident Evil 4 Remake's demo. Every single one of them looked great on my gaming PC. I couldn't have been happier. The performance is outstanding. I'm having a great time with the gaming PC, and I can't wait to play more tonight on Street Fighter 6 and all of that. It should be a good time. I'm very excited for that. Last night, Stardew Valley went well. We had a nice chill stream. We all hung out together, and that went well too. So looking forward to more of that as well. All right, we're going to get to game news. But before we get to news, please consider supporting the channel today. There's many ways you can support DSPGaming. You can do a super chat. You can leave a super sticker. You can become a member of the channel, which a couple people did, and I will shout those out in a bit. You can give memberships to the community, or you can do a tip. All right, my goal is to hit 50 bucks in tips every stream that I do here on YouTube. And if we hit that, I consider I've had a successful stream. So please consider tipping if you like the content. And I will give you a shout out for any of these, contributions. Okay? But the shout outs happen after I get through the news. All right. You guys ready? It's time. It is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, and everyone's favorite segment here on the Level 1 podcast. It is DSP News. We've got a few news stories to cover today, my friends. The first is Square Enix has released a report about their earnings. And the report is incredibly telling. Listen to this. The main takeaway is that the vast majority of Square Enix's digital entertainment business, video games, is MMOs and mobile games. Just listen to this breakdown. 68.4% of Square Enix's actual operating profits are from MMOs. Now, what MMOs does Square Enix operate? Well, I know of Final Fantasy 14, right? But what else? Do they have others? I don't know. I'm actually like legit asking you guys. I'm not actually sure what else they operate. But if it's really just Final Fantasy 14, I mean, holy shit. One game is around 70% of their profits. That's incredible. I mean, wow, did they find a way to turn that game into profitability? That's got to be the biggest turnaround story in gaming history. Final Fantasy XIV was a failure at launch, remember? And then they completely redesigned and retooled it and went back to the drawing board, came back, and then everyone says, it's literally like one of, if not the best MMO of all time now. And it had this very dedicated fan base of people for the past decade who love the game. So that's pretty amazing. If that is the case, now again, I'm asking, most people here are saying, yeah, it's just Final Fantasy 14. Is that true? There's no other MMOs that they're running. So it's just Final Fantasy 14, huh? Wow. That's insane. So, okay, now listen to this. 31.1% of their profits are from mobile games. That's pretty good. A third of your operating profit is just from mobile games people are playing on their phones or whatever. But do the math. 68.4, 31.1, wait a minute. Listen to this. Of all of Square Enix's profits, only 0.5% of their profits is non-MMO PC and console games. That means Final Fantasy 15, right? Excuse me, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and all other games that Square Enix published in the last year or whatever only equated to 0.5% of their profits. The games are not profitable. These games that they're developing and pumping out are not selling enough to develop profits for the company. So this is a very bad sign for those of us who are fans of games like the Final Fantasy VII remakes. What is the incentive of Square Enix to actually make the third game? The second game completely underperformed to the point where it didn't equate to 1% of their profits. Wow. Now, let's be honest. I think they cost too much, meaning to develop. The games take way too much money to develop. If you're spending so many millions of dollars to make the game that you have to sell an incredible amount of copies to even break even, you got a problem, right? So maybe it's time for them to reestablish or reevaluate their whole development cycle, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. They're out of their minds. If they're making these games that are so over the top expensive, you know? So, yeah, that's what I would say is they've got to change their whole mentality of how this is going to work. They have to. You cannot have an entire division making these games that make no money, right? And I mean, yeah, this definitely puts it in jeopardy because MMOs, they already have an established pipeline of development. They already are making the game. They just keep making content for it. It's not, they don't have to reinvent the wheel to make an MMO. You know what I'm saying? Or continue to develop for their existing MMOs. Mobile games, again, yeah, mobile games are actually very cheap to develop compared to console and PC. But these standalone games, these big established franchises with new iterations, right? These are the ones that they're sinking all the money into and they're not making money. So you got to wonder what's going to happen. We know who runs these companies, right? We know. So you got to be nervous. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, it is time to be nervous, okay? Because they're not making any money on anything. Continuing on. Meta, which used to be Facebook, but now they're Meta, closes Ready at Dawn Studios. That's right, another game studio has just been closed. This was the studio that developed Lone Echo, The Order 1886, remember that one? God of War, Chains of Olympus, and Ghosts of Sparta, which I believe were, one of them was a PSP game, was it not? And then the other one, Chains of Olympus, was it also a PSP game? Was it the two PSP games? Because I know there was also one that was a spin-off game that wasn't made by the main studio, right? But I think that's what it was. It's those two. And Daxter, Did they make Jack and Daxter Ready at Dawn? I don't know about that. But yeah, basically, another studio closed. This one, who even knew that Meta owned them? Who knew that Facebook bought that company? And I guess the question is, why did Facebook buy the company? Right? Like, what was the purpose of buying the company? It's confusing because they certainly didn't do anything with it. So it seems like over the last 5 years, a lot of these big companies decided to acquire gaming companies, but they didn't do anything with them, right? They just sat there and then, oh, well, nothing has happened. Oh, it was a Daxter game also for PSP. Thank you, Jay Stan. So they basically were a PSP developer. Obviously, that's outdated. They made the Order 1886. That game flopped. So it's like flop after flop. Meta buys them, does nothing with them, and now they're out of business. Delightful. Good work there, Meta. Speaking of game studios, closures, and downscaling, remember we just had the story that Bungie laid off a whole bunch of employees, and some of them are going to be swung into Sony, the parent company that owns Bungie. So there is a follow-up to that. Sony's president, the COO and CFO, Hiroki Totoki. What a name, Hiroki Totoki, to have a rhyming name. That must be a pretty interesting existence, right? I mean, no one's ever going to forget your name. Gave some details on the current restructuring that Sony is undertaking with Bungie. So number one, the purpose of the restructuring is to have a cost restructure and portfolio optimization. Exactly what I've been saying. They don't care about the games they're pumping out. They don't care about anything but money. They're literally just trying to make the company look better on a fucking spreadsheet, probably for tax purposes or valuation purposes, for stocks or whatever it may be. Has something to do with that. So screw the people who lost their jobs. As long as our company looks more valuable, that's all we care about, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Totoki. Really appreciate that. Number two, they're trying to enhance the efficiency of their businesses by having Bungie's back office functions be integrated into the existing Sony Interactive Entertainment division. Bungie's headcount and resources will now be concentrated on 2 games exclusively: the continued development and maintenance of Destiny 2, as well as developing their new game Marathon. If you remember, they were already making a new game that everyone was wondering, does that mean it's still being made? Yes, this confirms the game is still being made. They didn't drop the development of Marathon with this whole laying off of Bungie employees or anything, okay? All right. Other title developments at Bungie, anything else they were working on behind the scenes that we're not even aware of, are going to be transferred over to PlayStation Studios. Bungie will only do Destiny 2 and Marathon, and that's it, okay? And optimize the studio structure. So basically what they're saying is, listen, Bungie's inefficient, right? They were only working on Destiny 2, and they were starting other projects, but they're not making money anymore. They're not profitable. They're not efficient. We need to kick their ass because they're not doing a good job of running themselves, and Sony stepped in as the parent company and took control. It sucks that employees lost their jobs. Hopefully those that did will get other jobs at Sony. I think they said that's what they were working on, is trying to integrate those people as Sony employees rather than Bungie employees. But was the writing not on the wall when all that Bungie has put out for a decade is Destiny, and Destiny is the same fucking game for 10 years, which is Halo, right? Like we said this before, it's not like, oh, they're a really, prominent company making so many different games. What's the word for someone who does a lot of work, does a lot of content? I forget, because I used to call myself this, and I can't remember what the word is anymore. I'm getting too old. But basically, they're not pumping out content besides Destiny. So what did you think would happen when Destiny stopped being mainstream popular and prominent? Because it ain't. Just let's be real. Destiny is absolutely not mainstream popular anymore. Okay? Does it have an installed fan base that always comes back? Yes. Is it making front page news and everyone's freaking out and spending tons of money on it? No. Okay? Prolific. Thank you. They're not a prolific company. That's the problem. If they were pumping out 5-10 games, then you can say it doesn't matter that one is out of prominence, but they're only making one game. The game's out of prominence. They have nothing else to offer. What did you think was going to happen to the company, right? Okay. Also, speaking of, again, studio closures, downscaling, shuffling around, listen to this one. Warner Brothers Discovery is seemingly looking to sell or split up their companies, notably their gaming division. What's under the umbrella of Warner Brothers Discovery's gaming division? WB Games, which is Mortal Kombat and any of the DC games and franchises that have been under there for a while. They don't make too many, but anything that's basically DC or Mortal Kombat is under that umbrella, right? So Suicide Squad would have been under there. Like I said, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, those titles. So why? Well, because they haven't been doing that well. The flop of Suicide Squad was a ginormous problem, and Mortal Kombat, even though it sold well, for some reason, I guess, wasn't good enough for them. I'm not sure. What they're actually looking to do now is take those licenses for like Warner Brothers characters and actually outsource them so other companies can use them in game development instead of relying only on their internal WB Game Studios, which is kind of weird. So what's going to happen to those people? Are they all going to get laid off? Maybe. In which case, that'd be pretty sad if all these people who make games for WB Games get laid off. It's just weird to me because you thought, like Mortal Kombat last year, Mortal Kombat 1 outsold Street Fighter 6 and it outsold Tekken 8 earlier this year. So how is it that this is like not profitable unless you're just saying Mortal Kombat's the only thing that's profitable and everything else was a fail, and that's why? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Mortal Kombat's the only thing that's making them money in WB Games. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, anyway, sad, because at one point, I would argue in the mid-2010s, even early in mid-2010s, WB Games was doing exceptionally well, correct? Every game that was pumping out under that umbrella was doing really well, selling like gangbusters. And now they've kind of completely fallen out of prominence. Like, what's the latest DC game that you played that you liked? Well, let's see. Suicide Squad, no. Gotham Knights, no. Right? When was the last Injustice? How many years ago? So it's like, well, you're right. They're not doing anything of note with the DC properties. Now, let me ask you, do you think it's hard to make a good game with DC characters? I mean, the problem is obviously there just isn't enough good characters in DC, right? There's just not enough to work with. It's just too hard. It's just there's totally no iconic, notable characters that they could make a good game with that people would buy and play, right? Well, I can tell you one group that it won't be. Suicide Squad. If they would stop fucking making Suicide Squad content, people would actually digest other DC content. The problem is they keep fucking making Suicide Squad. How about instead of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you make a game about the Justice League? Whoa! Characters that people like? No fucking shit. But again, the people who are in charge of these companies have no fucking brains. Zero brains. All right, we have a last piece of gaming news, although this one definitely applies more to movies than games. The Borderlands movie, which is about to release, by the way, did you even know that? Most people don't. The Borderlands movie actually releases, I think, this weekend, coming up. Has now finally gotten all reviews, okay? At least as of this morning, it was sitting at a nice and delicious 4% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes. 4%. Now, hold on a second. You're telling me that a movie with that kind of casting is bad? No way. Exactly. The movie where all of the cast is supposed to be young adventurers going out and doing irreverent things like mindlessly murdering people with no remorse to try to get treasure. But instead, the cast is all old men and women. Just like, what the fuck? What were they thinking with this movie? Let me tell you, when I think about a battle-hardened bounty hunter guy who's a merc, who's out there, he's ruthless, he's bloodthirsty, and he wants to get that bounty and or find the hidden treasure or loot in the world of Borderlands, the absolute first name that comes to mind for me to play that character would be Kevin Hart. I think what's happened is, all right, we basically had a wave of good video game content. So then inevitably what happens is other people try to jump on that bandwagon, correct? For every Super Mario Brothers and Sonic the Hedgehog movie, we have to have a shitty Borderlands, right? For every Fallout, the TV series, or The Last of Us Season 1 TV series, we have to have Halo, right? we have to have the shitty one. So it's like, it's that you can tell who the bandwagoners are and who actually cares about the content, right? When you watch some of these movies, like I said, Sonic or Mario, even if you don't really overall enjoy the movies because they're more family-friendly fare, you can at least say, all right, the people who made the movie kind of understood the source material, correct? I would say if the Fallout TV show was almost exactly like the source material, right? A few changes to the lore here or there, but man, they were so respectful, and that's why the show works. As opposed to, let's just completely change it to be whatever the hell we want, and then just slap a name on it, and pretend, right? Pretend like it's going to not be noticed by anyone that we changed everything and no one will be upset. If you're going to do that, that's fine, but then don't call it what it isn't, right? The first time I remember this actually happening, I believe it was either the late 90s or early 2000s. The Final Fantasy 3D animated movie, okay? Everyone got excited for this because Final Fantasy was at a super height of popularity with Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. The games were selling like crazy. Some of the biggest RPGs in history. So then they said they're going to make a 3D movie of it. And everyone's like, oh, a 3D movie of Final Fantasy? Are you crazy? This is awesome. We're going to see chocobos and black mages. There's going to be crystals and magic. There's going to be knights and all your prominent, you're going to have the Flan enemies and the goblin imp guys. And you're going to have crazy knights and medieval stuff. Or maybe it'll be like the steampunk versions that we saw in Final Fantasy VI. So you'll have this and that. So everyone's speculating what it's going to be. The movie comes out and it's called Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. It literally has nothing to do with Final Fantasy at all. None of the things that I just mentioned are in the movie. The movie is a standalone experience that's not even set in the world of Final Fantasy. It makes no fucking sense that they called it that. All they wanted to do was buy in on the Final Fantasy name, so people very understandably went to the movies, saw the movie, said, what the hell did I just watch? This has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. This sucks. And then they walked away very disappointed. All right? So, really, really silly and stupid that they do this. If you want to make a movie that has a comedic cast of Kevin Hart and Jamie Lee Curtis, because she's as a comedic actor as well as a serious actor from like horror movies. She can do both, okay? She's a good actress, by the way. There's no problem with her as an actress. Or who was the one playing the main female role, the head role? I can't remember her name. She's the same woman who played Galadriel in freaking Lord of the Rings or whatever. I can't remember her name right now. But again, good actress. Nothing wrong with that actress. But could you possibly miss the mark more with the casting of this movie? You took all the people who were supposed to be young, irreverent, basically immoral bounty hunters who go out, kill people nonstop to get what they want, whether it's, a payment for a bounty or a job, or they're looking for this big treasure, right? That's what it is. They're trying to open the vault and find the treasure inside. Is it going to be a fucking 50, 60-year-old woman? Is it going to be Kevin fucking Hart? Are you shitting me? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is the person who'd be stuck under the boot of the real Roland like a piece of gum. You understand? He's not rolling. Like, what the hell were they thinking? You think that shit? Yeah, Kate Blanchett, that was her name, right? Did you really think that this was going to sell? I mean, again, who made the movie? A bunch of guys in suits, right? A bunch of dumbasses in suits sitting around a fucking boardroom table. What content can we make in a movie? Well, them video games are very popular now. Man, look at the movies that just went out and made lots of monies. So we're going to take what's an available franchise that we can get. And they look at this board of available IPs and the prices attached to them. And they're looking and they're trying to calculate the price it would take to make the movie, the cost of the IP, actors and actresses available. And they just sit there and they look at it from that perspective. Literally none of them sit there and are like, what would make a good movie? Like, that's the last thing on their mind. What would make a good movie? It is the same thing that happens with video games today. What would make a good video game, an awesome gaming experience that everyone would want to have? And then after they've made it, then they worry about everything else. No, it's just, how do we make the money first before we even made the product? How do we guarantee the money, right? And they're so out of touch. So out of touch with modern moviegoers, modern gamers, or both, because in this case, it's both. You want to get the Borderlands audience who likes Borderlands, the game franchise. You want to get a common moviegoer who knows nothing about Borderlands to be sold on this movie and come check it out. You want the best of both worlds, and it could work if you make a good movie. But just slapping actor and actress names on the front of a fucking movie poster doesn't make it a good movie. There's been tons of bad movies with good actors and actresses in them over the years. I hate to tell Hollywood, okay? So, I mean, absolutely ridiculous, stupid. I'm not surprised the reviews are so bad. And I'm sure someone actually had said, as I was reporting this, actually it just went down to 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. It went down another percent while I was doing the podcast. So there you go. All right, guys, that's the news I got for today. So just to summarize, because this has been a eventful show. Number one, the Review Tech USA documentary is dropping on Sunday morning. I'm going to try to schedule the co-op react with the Kino Casino guys for Sunday night, probably around 6 p.m. Pacific time, on my DSP Reacts channel. If everything works, I got to ask them, be sure that they're available and everything. But that's what I'm proposing to them. And if it works, that's what we're going to do. That means it changes my schedule for the week. And my React content will now be on Monday, my normal React content. All right. Also, I have made 2 clips of content from yesterday's podcast. One, me talking about Kino Casino and side-scrollers, comparing them, and basically telling my opinion on side-scrollers a year later. And the other one is me talking about how Ubisoft is literally bribing content creators with paid trips to Disneyland and other lavish things in order to basically kiss the butt of Star Wars Outlaws. So I hope that you will watch those highlights if, you're interested. Please like them if you like them, and please leave comments on them because it'll hit the algorithm then. And if those clips actually hit the algorithm, it could bring newcomers to the channel. Okay? So please consider it, and thank you guys. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is some shout-outs, and then we'll see what time it is and go from there. Okay? Cool. All right, so we start off today with Jade, who re-upped the membership, Ultra Supporter, 38 months. Thank you so much, Jade, for your very long-standing support of the channel. I appreciate it. Good to have you here today. Perry the White became a member this morning. Thank you, Perry, for the membership. I appreciate that. First super chat of the day is from Spawn Killer. I'm petting Jasper Kitty if you're wondering what I'm doing here. He just walked up. And he says, hey, Phil, I know I'm a little late to the party, but I watched Stardew Valley and I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad to hear that. We are over 30 hours into Stardew Valley. We're actually about to start the 4th and final season, which is winter. And then after that, it kind of resets again. I'm excited for that, to see what happens in the game during winter time. And we're going to play it again this weekend. I think we're Saturday night is our next stream of it. Great game. Love it. And love the chill vibes of it. So thank you. And of course, 2 new hours went live last night on the channel. If you're interested, you can get caught up. The videos are live here. Okay. Bloom Kit with a $4.99 super chat says, casting isn't a huge deal. The main issue is they made the movie PG-13 instead of R. No way to keep the spirit of the games if they're trying to get kids to watch. Well, that's another thing. Again, in their boardroom, right? The guys in suits who know nothing about what the game actually probably is are like, oh, so what's a marketable gaming IP, right? What's the marketable IP? And they don't understand the source material. They don't care about the source material. You know what I'm saying? They don't. Why would they? If they cared about the source material, they wouldn't have casted it like that. All they care about is how do we make money out of it, right? So there you go. Change it all. Get rid of the irreverence. Get rid of the over-the-top violence. Get rid of the swearing. Get rid of the sexual content. Get rid of it all. And instead make it a horrendous, unfunny PG-13 schlockfest of junk that will never be watched by anyone and then shoved into a shitty vault for no one to ever see because no one's going to watch this thing, right? Jasper, everyone likes seeing you on camera these days. Everyone tells me they absolutely are loving seeing you on camera, buddy. He's too busy rubbing his face on my microphone to listen. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Jasper. Jasper Kitty. Are you listening? Everyone likes seeing you on camera. You come on camera all the time now, and they love it because the camera's high quality now, so they can see you now in detail. And we couldn't used to see you in detail. You were like fuzzy. But now they can see you. They like that. He won't stop rubbing his face on all my stuff. They like that, Jasper. Like being on camera now? You've been on camera quite a lot lately. Okay. You silly cat. All right. So anyway, thank you, guys. So Bloom Kit. Oh, boy. How am I going to do this? Jasper, I'm sorry. I got to put you down so I can update the leaderboard, okay? Oh, yeah. So I'm being asked in chat, did I get new HDMI cables yesterday for my PC? I did. They are the absolute highest quality HDMI cable you can get now. I got them off Amazon. And yes, I did the swap. However, it hasn't really changed anything. The reason I got the cables was someone said, well, number one, are you sure your cables are the best? I was like, no, I don't think they are. And number two, people were interested. Could I do 120 frames per second, 120 hertz at other resolutions than 1080p? We tried it last night. It doesn't. I could do 4K at 60 frames, and I can do every single other resolution at 60 frames, or I could do 1080p at 120 frames. That's it. Like someone were like, oh, could you do 1440p at 120 frames? No. And then we looked into it last night. It says right on the capture device, it doesn't support that. That's why. This capture device does not support 120 hertz on anything other than 1080p. So I can only get 120 hertz on 1080p with this capture device. Maybe eventually I'll get a better one that would do different, but I'm okay with 1080p 120 hertz. You understand? Like, for the games that I'm going to want that, like Call of Duty, I want to play it at 1080p regardless, okay? Okay, Maximum Turbo, 5 months as a member. Says, if you won the lottery tomorrow, would you leave YouTube? No, I would not. I would definitely change up my streaming schedule so I could spend more time with my family. Because right now I only get the 1 day a week to spend with my family, and it's not enough, quite frankly. I end up having to cram in all kinds of, like tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off, right? Here's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm not kidding. This is my day tomorrow. I got to go to the garbage dump, all right? I got to pick up a few things from stores that we've ordered. I have to go grocery shopping. I have to go get pet supplies. So I have to do all of that stuff. Oh, and I have to get gas for the car because the car is now almost out of gas. So I have to do all of that while I'm out tomorrow. Then I come home and I'm going to order dinner and I'll eat with my wife. And then we have like the night to relax. So out of all the days I work in a week, I get half a day to relax with my wife. That's my time with my wife. Half a fucking day once a week, right? It's crazy. Next week's even worse. Next week on our day off, my wife and I have 2 different appointments plus all the other shit we have to do. Like going to Costco and everything. It's like, that's what I need. I need time. But time is money, right? A day that I don't stream is a day that I don't make any money, right? Now, I didn't stream the other night because I went on Kino Casino. Thankfully, the guys from Kino Casino came over here, right? The viewers, and watched my content yesterday and heavily supported the stream. So it totally more than made up for the fact that I didn't do a late night stream the night before because I was on Kino Casino. Right? But that's not going to be every day. It's not. You know, it's not going to last. So I got to be here. I got to work, you know? If I don't work, if I take an extra day off, where's the money going to come from to make up for that to pay my bills? As much as idiots would like to believe that I'm filthy rich, I am not. I am far from it. I have many different bills that I'm paying. Every single one. You know, I've told you guys about this, that sadly my bad choices in the past, okay, have resulted in me having to pay for a lot of stuff over time. Right now, not only do I pay like a mortgage, but I actually have, you know, back payment plan to the government for taxes that I'm going to be paying ages to pay off. You know, I'm paying all kinds of stuff that you guys don't even know about, lawyers and shit. I am. Now, that's none of your business what that is. You don't need to know. But I am. I'm paying this stuff every month. And that's where all my money goes. As soon as I get paid by YouTube, within a week of being paid by YouTube monthly, all that money is gone to bills. It's gone. And so I need to work as much as I do in order to make ends meet. How else do you think a streamer who on average gets only a few hundred viewers a stream is able to afford this house, is able to afford all this stuff? Because I work so much. That's why. If I cut down on working by another 1 to 2 days a week, I would not be able to afford my life, you know? So it is what it is, okay? All right. I just found this in a pocket of my chair. I don't even know what it is, a clip or something. Weird. Okay. Thank you, CJW, for a super chat. I appreciate that. Then we're going to get to tips here. Let's see. I received a $2 and 9-cent tip. Oh, excuse me. $2.09 tip. The Nintendo Switch is 1 million sales short of beating the PS2 record in the United States. Do you think has a chance of beating it? Is it too late in the system cycle? And can you give more than just a one-word answer? Why would I only give a one-word answer? Of course I'll give more than a one-word answer. This is an anonymous tip, by the way. The PS2 is still the best-selling console of all time in the United States. Okay? I don't know about Japan, but I know in the US it is. The Switch is catching up, and I think for a while, a lot of people thought it actually would overtake the PS2. But as I actually just reported on this show, I think it was last week, yeah, the Switch sales have pretty much completely died down, and almost no one's buying the Switch anymore. I mean, why would they? It's at the end of its life cycle. There just aren't a lot of games for it, right? But there is one thing that everyone should remember here. Okay? When a console is ending or getting near the end of its life cycle, okay? You get sales, you get sales pushes. Now, admittedly, a lot of the times it's secondhand, meaning there may be a lot of people rushing to buy a Switch because it gets cheaper, but they may be going to get used Switches because they're even cheaper, right? But at the same time, when Switch 2 is announced, there's going to be a big push to liquidate this original Switch inventory. Because after Switch 2's out, it's obsolete, right? So, I predict what will happen is once Switch 2 gets announced, there will actually be a final push surge in sales for the Switch. The original Switch, that is. And perhaps you will see year-end sales to liquidate the inventory to get it out of there because stores aren't going to want it on their shelves anymore. And I think there's actually a good chance the Switch will outsell the PS2. Not that it would matter. It's not that big of a deal if it does. I think it's just that it was such a long-standing record that the PS2 has had that's why people think this is a big milestone. It'll be a big event. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But anyway, yeah, I think personally there is a good chance with the end of this year, the final push, Switch could overtake PS2 in sales. But I don't think it's a big deal if it does. Okay. All right. I received a $2 tip from Nico. Says, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter lately. Let me tell you something. All your criticisms about Ken are 100% valid. The character is not balanced in the slightest. No, he's the easy mode character. Ken is the easiest character to play. And then I would argue Cammy is harder to play than Ken, but once you have at least a basic understanding of how to do a flowchart, you basically can easily win with Cammy because she's too overpowered. Okay? By the way, I have another thing to tell you guys. So someone sent me this in a message. Hold on one second. I'm going to throw this out, whatever this clip is. Someone sent me a message regarding my opponents in Street Fighter 6 recently. All right? Wait till you hear this one. Because again, you would think what I'm about to tell you sounds so crazy far-fetched, it's got to be a conspiracy theory, but it's actually confirmed to be true. All right? All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Spawn Killer, I did shout out your super chat earlier. Yes, I did. You must have missed it. Okay. So, as you know, recently when I've been playing Street Fighter 6, it seems like I just end up fighting a lot of camis, right? Guess what? A lot of those camis, not all of them, but a lot of those camis are exactly the same person. It's one of my trolls. They actually are bragging about it publicly. That what they have done is on PC, people have found a way to basically make, not clone accounts, but make a ton of separate accounts in Street Fighter 6 that you can easily log in and out of on PC. And basically what they've done, I'm not kidding, it's one person who has like 20 or 30 accounts, all with Cammy around the 4 5-star diamond and low master level. Okay? So whenever I'm playing it, they are literally going online with another Cammy, and they're trying to matchmake while watching my stream, essentially stream sniping, hoping that they're going to catch me in matchmaking and get a match. And no lie, when I played Street Fighter 6 the other day, remember I used 4 characters, Honda, Dalsim, M. Bison, and Blanca. This person documented in the video, they fought me 4 to 5 times, but every time they fought me, it was with a different account. Yeah. And it's actually funny because people send me this information with all the factual evidence to back it up. And I was like, you know, I don't want to believe it. I really don't. I don't want to believe it because this is like, it's on the level of like insane conspiracy. Like it sounds like to say something like this, you'd be putting on a tinfoil hat, right? And be like, yes, and the aliens are also watching my streams and they want to hurt me too, right? But the truth is, they actually showed me the evidence. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's real. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was a fabrication. I wish it was a wild, like, pipe dream that this was happening. But it's not. It's real. These people are that fucking insane to troll me. Okay? So, this person who sent me the information, they're like, why don't you should just block the camis. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to block every cami. If I block every cami, I'll never even learn how to fight the matchup. You understand what I'm saying? I do think it's the most bullshit online matchup there is. She's just too safe. And with online, it's just not viable to react to everything she does. She gets so many options that are completely safe. It's bullshit, right? So, so yeah. For me, I'm like, I don't know what I could do to prevent it. Yeah, I could block every cami, but that's like really stupid. Plus, I'll be blocking innocent people who are just legit cami players versus this stalker idiot. So, I know it sounds nuts, but that's the level of insanity that these people have gone to. Just like ever since Kino Casino started acting nice to me and had me on the show the other day, you know, nonstop with them on their Twitter accounts, in their DMs, these fucking crazy ass people acting all toxic and shit towards them. It's nuts, quite frankly. I don't think it's not logical behavior what they're doing. You understand? It's not what normal people do. It shows their level of madness. So okay. Thank you to Margaret for a super chat. Thank you very much, Margaret. And again, anyone here today who's a relative newcomer from Kino Casino, welcome. Hope that you'll chill with me. It's going to be fun when I play Nintendo World Championships. This is a fun one because it's challenging, so it's interesting. It keeps you at the edge of your seat to see if I can complete these challenging speed runs. But also there's an element of rage when I fail and laughing when I make silly mistakes over and over. It's a pretty good stream. It's something different. I haven't done a ton of it. I do it like once a week. But when I do it, it usually is a pretty good variety content. So I hope you'll stick around to watch it over the after the show ends, okay? Oh. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. I got good news and bad news. Uh, the good news is my crown has arrived. Right now, as I was doing the podcast. That's the good news. The crown has arrived. The bad news is they fucking put it in my mailbox, which is all the way at the front of my private community. It's about a 5-minute walk back and forth. So I could get it if you guys really want me to, but I'm going to have to take like a 5 to 10 minute break to walk over there and get it out of the mailbox. Oh, wait, I take it back. I can't get it out of the mailbox because my wife isn't home and she has the keys. Yeah, she has the keys to the mailbox. Wait, no, I might have, no, I think we only have one key. Yeah, I think we only have one key to it. Hold on. Let me check. I do have a mailbox key. So it's up to you guys. If you want me, I'll pause the recording and go check. And then we can do a live unboxing of my crown. Or if you want me to. It's up to you. Or we could just end it. I could do it later. It's totally up to you guys. You guys want me to get it? I gotta get it. All right. So here's what we'll do. I'll pause the recording. When I come back, we'll do a live unboxing. Well, I'm back, and it took about 10 minutes, so it wasn't that bad. Are you ready for this? All right. I have no idea how well this is going to work, but this just arrived. Okay? Now, to be clear, this will be a hat that I will wear in my rotation when I hit my $100 tips goal, which is the hat goal. Okay? Let's see what this looks like. It's gem encrusted. A gem encrusted crown for the king. Multiple gem colors, red, green, and blue. Okay? Look at this. Before I put it on, I guess I should remove the tag, right? Let me go get a scissor to get that off. Okay. It's got a sticker on the inside. What does it say? I can't read it. I got to take it off. Made in China. 70% plastic, 30% polyester. There you go. That's how you know it's the good stuff, right? Okay. So. Here it is. Ready? Are you ready for this? I wish I had music to play here. I don't. I'm sure the guys at Kino Casino will superimpose some music over this. You ready? Here we go. It doesn't fit. I'm serious. It's too small. It's too small. It doesn't fit. I can't get it any further down than that. So, it's too small. Damn it! It doesn't fit. It does look small. It looks kind of like it's like way smaller than my other hats. So, it sucks because it looks great, but it is just too small. Like that's how it sits on top of my head. It doesn't even fit at all. Darn it. It would have been cool. Look like, oh, oh, it's gonna be like the crown of thorns that Jesus wore. I'm gonna have blood squirting off of my forehead here. Yeah, it doesn't fit. It's too small. That sucks. Well, the person who donated the crown, thanks for trying. It's too small. I don't know if they make them bigger than this, but that sucks. That it doesn't fit. I can't fit it on my head, so I can't wear it. I like how it looks. I like how it has like a red velvety look on the top. I like the design. Like, it looks cool. Like a Holy Roman Emperor style crown or something, right? But yeah, I guess not. I get, like, people are saying you could use it in your background eventually. Yeah, I guess, like, I could just, like, throw it somewhere in the background, right? I could. That's about the best I can do. It doesn't fit. You know? There you go. I guess that's what we'll do. Now, there you go. Now it's on stream. I can use it for decoration since I can't wear it. It's too small. Shave all my hair off to get wiggle room. No, it's actually my skull that doesn't fit in it. It's not the hair that's the problem. By the way, shout out to Bubs812. Gifted a membership, and it went to Zachary. Congrats, Zachary. Thank you, Bubs, for supporting the channel. And Cypress TV with a $1 super chat that I missed because I was out checking my mailbox. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's pretty disappointing that the crown is too small. I mean, from what I'm to understand, they ordered, I think it was large. Doesn't say. Yeah. What's weird, the person asked me what size, and I said, we'll probably get a large. But the crown has no size on it. I get the feeling it's one of these rip-off situations where they act like what you're ordering off of Amazon is like a high-end product, and it's not. Like, oh yeah, there's sizes. There's no sizes. You just order it. They send you the same fucking size no matter what, right? And they act like that's what you ordered. So, I almost guarantee you that's the situation. So, yeah, it is what it is. At least, it does look nice on camera. It'll be a nice little decoration that I'll have for my background. But it doesn't fit my head, sadly. What can you do, right? Okay. Thank you to the viewer for trying. I appreciate whoever tried. All right. So, would anyone have any topics they'd like to discuss or anything before we end the show and I jump into Nintendo World Championships for today? Anything, any hot topics, anything I didn't cover that you'd like to discuss? FYI, I already messaged the Kino Casino guys, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them today on, you know, the scheduling for our co-op react this weekend. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it won't be a problem. Okay. Okay. Has my Switch's internet issue fixed itself? Yes. So the problem was not the Switch. It was something to do with either my router or my modem. Don't ask me what. I don't know what I did. And by the way, everyone last time was telling me to use the Joy-Cons. So I found the Joy-Cons, I charged them, and I'm going to attempt to use the Joy-Cons today in Nintendo World Championships and see how they work. I don't know how they could possibly be better. They don't even have a D-pad. It's just a bunch of buttons. So I don't know why people think this would be, like, good. But I guess I could try it. I don't know. I don't see how this would honestly be any better. But I guess we could try. Okay? Jade, no, I don't think I'm going to use Guy for Lily tonight, Jade. I think I want to go to one of my other characters, and I'm trying to get characters back to Master. So I think I'm going to focus on that for now. Geef and Lily I'll probably continue to use, but I don't think I'm going to focus on them competitively. I don't think they're good enough. Okay. I received a $1 tip from a troll. I'm just going to ignore the troll. That's great. Again, guys, my goals today, 50 bucks in tips by the end of this first stream would be great. And anything else, you know, super chats, memberships would be greatly appreciated. So if you're here to hang out, welcome, welcome. And please consider supporting the stream in some way. Okay? Queen of Hearts says, I know you're taking advantage of your new gaming PC. Do you think this opens the door to new games? Yes, of course. There was always been games that came out exclusively on PC first and were coming out on console later. There's games that just play better on PC, right? Well, I think for like upcoming marathons and events, it'll be like, for example, Halloween Marathon. It's horror themed. Usually there's tons of horror themed games that come out on PC that never hit consoles for ages. So now I'll have the possibility to play way more of those, right? So there you go. New Gene says, which WB properties would you be interested in seeing licensed out? Justice League, Superman, right? Why is there no Justice League or Superman game? It makes no sense whatsoever. It's their biggest, most valuable IP possible, and they're not utilizing it at all. Instead, they did 5,000 Batmans, and now they're doing Batman spin-offs that no one wants, like Suicide Squad. No, just do Superman and stop it. Stop being stupid bitches about it. Okay. New Gene says, I gave the streamer $300 to eat 3 spoonfuls of peanut butter. I got the idea when you were on the casino show. That's incredibly weird. Why would you do that? Why would you pay $300 to see someone eat peanut butter? Peanut butter is delicious, right? So why would, I don't get that. It's a little weird, though. Peanut butter is great. All these comments coming in. All these comments to approve on my highlight clips that I put out this morning. I just approved a bunch. There you go. Cool. I have played World of Warcraft before. I played it when it was a brand new game, and I loved it. Played it for about a year. Then I got back into it again in the mid-2000s when I had some coworkers at a job who were playing it. Then I tried to play it as a YouTuber, and that never worked because too many trolls stream sniping. Like, I tried twice, 2 different times to play it. Every time, the trolls would just come right up to where I was on the server, fuck with everything, and it was unplayable. So, sadly, I would never be able to play it in the public. I'd be able to play it privately behind the scenes, but never in the public eye. Jasper has been on today. He's on the floor right now relaxing. He's got his arms folded over like this. I mean, you know how cats sit with folded arms over? It's like super cute. That's what he's doing right now on the floor. I think the Xbox and PS5 will end up like the Switch barely used. Well, the PS5 is going to be used fairly quickly. If you think about it, we're going to be doing Astrobot game is on there, right? That's coming up in September, less than a month. And what else? I think there was like 2 or 3 games at least that I'll be using the PS5 for by the end of the year. The Xbox, right? See, here's the thing. Right now, I will definitely be able to play the vast majority of games that I was playing on Xbox on PC. The Xbox, I was using the Xbox app, the YouTube app, in order to do my React show, DSP versus the internet. But now I can either just use a web browser. Is there an app you can download to do YouTube like that? But I'm curious, I mean, how much ease of use it would be to just use the web browser in order to react to videos, right? Because we could just do that. I could just go, like, open the browser, full screen, and just watch videos back that way now instead. I don't need the YouTube app anymore. And here's the thing. In a desktop version of YouTube, you can actually truly do random play of videos. You can't do that in the app. It doesn't work. But you could do it in desktop. So... Shiloh, thank you for the membership. I appreciate you becoming a member this morning. What is the best place to send me a fan edit? You can email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. And if you do, let me know, because I know, because it might hit my spam. Okay? No, Derek, edited thumbnails are not something new on my channel. I've been doing them for years. That's why I have a team of editors that does that for me. Am I going to react to the videos about the truth about Mr. Beast by Dogpack? Not really. I don't have plans to do that, no. I'm going to do the Review Tech React much later this month. My own documentary is going to be coming out that I'm reacting to, but that's a heck of a lot of reacting. You know, I want to play games this month too. I want to make use of my new gaming PC, so I don't think I'm going to be doing that much reacting in 1 month, no. I can't use a controller anymore if I watch the videos on the PC. Yeah, but I'll have a keyboard and mouse right here. Won't matter. Not a problem. I wouldn't need the gamepad at all. And in fact, I'd be able to more easily jump around a video. I'll be able to precisely do it with the keyboard and mouse. What's my favorite thing to cook? My homemade sauce recipe. I'm not a good cook. Just to make this clear. My wife is a good cook. I am not a good cook at all, in any way, shape, or form. But I come from an Italian family, and my mother taught me her recipe for Italian marinara sauce, which she learned from her father, who was actually an Italian immigrant. Okay? So it's pretty authentic, with some twists and turns and edits. You know, each person edits it a little differently. So I've made this many times before. It's a simmer sauce. So you have to simmer like 4 or 5 hours to get it that perfect flavor. And it's great. I just haven't done it in years. COVID basically screwed everything up. Like, I was doing it regularly. And when I do it, I make a ginormous pot of it, so it's enough for like tons of meals. And I would freeze it and, you know, thaw it out when I'm going to do the sauce again. And then it got all screwed up because of COVID. And I haven't really done it in a long time at this point. What's up, Game Boy? How's it going, man? Do I have a Bluetooth receiver and Wi-Fi on my PC? Yes, I think it's in there. I think there's Bluetooth built into, like, the motherboard. I don't think I'll ever use it. Like, what would I use Bluetooth for? I can't think of anything. Jade, you're welcome. He says, thank you for saying you're going to play Star Wars Outlaws on PC again. Yeah. The reason Jade's concerned about that is because when we played Star Wars Jedi Survivor last year, I know it's a different company. Jedi Survivor was EA and Outlaws will be Ubisoft. But basically, the game ran so poorly on Xbox. It was completely, the frame rate was all over the place. It would start at 60 frames, then it would go to 30. Then it would go to 10. Then it would go to 45. Then it would go to 50. Then it would go to 30. Then it would go to 20. And it was so jarring, you couldn't watch it. It actually made you, like, sick to your stomach. So I said this year, since I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws on my gaming PC, we should be able to tweak it enough, whether it means we have to lower settings or adjust. We're going to get the thing to a solid frame rate, you know? If I wanted to use a controller wirelessly, oh, I don't care about using a controller wirelessly. I want to use controllers wired, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I'll say, James says your graphics card, the 4070 Ti Super, is a monster card. It will run anything. The thing is a beast. It looks huge. It's got giant dedicated fans on it. It looks like a fucking car engine. It's wild. The PC is... I don't have it on this morning because I'm using Switch, but just looking at it, you know, oh my God, that thing's nuts. No, I do not miss the early days of setting up a camera on a table. The only thing that was different about the old style of recording, okay, was basically that I didn't have a streaming schedule, right? So I had the ability to basically record as slowly or as quickly as I wanted. I wasn't committed to having to be right here during these certain hours to do a live broadcast for people to tune into. That was a huge advantage. So I could be like, oh, I got to record today. Oh, I'm going to be a little late. Who cares, right? Not a big deal. Oh, no, I'm in the middle of playing and I got to take a shit. Well, I don't have to announce to the planet I have to shit and go on break. I can just go take my shit. If I get hungry, I can just go get food and come back. It wasn't a big deal, right? Today, it's a big deal. I have to be here scheduled and, you know, that's the deal. So that's the one. Everything else was worse. It was harder to do because you were constantly adjusting this camera, gamma and exposure settings and shit so that you fucking could get the brightness right because every scene looked terrible. Yeah, every 10 minutes, recording, unrecording, and later on it was longer videos, but still, like, it was a pain in the ass. Everything about it was a pain in the ass. It really was. Okay. All right, guys, last chance. Anything else to talk about? I've done all the shout-outs so far, and what we're going to do is we're going to swap over now and start some Nintendo World Championships, okay? Cool. Thanks for the engagement this morning. Over 100 likes. I appreciate that, man. I should change my mood lighting to brown whenever I need to go. Sadly, the lighting doesn't have brown. Darn. No brown duty colors. Oh, no. I wish I could turn off political ads. I don't have that ability on YouTube. You can't really do that. Because I'll be honest, I don't like you guys being bombarded with political ads, but here's the truth. I mean, I'm just going to be honest here. Listen, I'm not endorsing either candidate because I don't like either candidate for president here. But why is one candidate mass buying political ads on YouTube right now? Why do you think? Right? Why are you so desperate? Why are you bombarding people watching random YouTube videos with political ads? Isn't that a little desperate and out of touch and not well placed, you know? Okay. All right, guys, let's end the show. And thank you for chilling. And let's get started with the Nintendo stuff, right? Good stuff going today. What a wild, eventful day happening here with the review tech doc information and all this stuff going on. Hope that you guys are enjoying the fun and you will hang out with me. Nintendo World Championships, please stick around. If not, come back tonight for Street Fighter. That's going to be fun. And remember, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be here Saturday morning to start up another awesome week with all of you guys, all right? Thank you so much. See you Saturday.